Baron Rudolf von Sebottendorff was a Freemason and Sufi Muslim. Glauer began a serious study of occultism, writes Goodrick Clark. His interest in exotic religions had been kindled when he saw the Mevlevi sect of whirling dervishes and visited the Cheops Pyramid at Giza in July 1900. His companion Ibrahim told him of the cosmological and numerological significance of the pyramids and aroused Glauer's curiosity about the occult gnosis of ancient theocracies. Hussein Pasha, his wealthy and learned host, practiced Sufism and discussed these matters with Glauer. In 1900, he moved to Turkey, where he was introduced to Rosicrucianism, which led to his initiation into a Masonic lodge. In 1908 in Turkey, he continued to study Islamic mysticism, which in his opinion shared a common Aryan source with the Germanic runes. To him, the Islamic and Germanic mystical systems were linked. In 1910, he founded a lodge of the Bektashi Sufi order in Constantinople. Sebottendorff took charge of the Bavarian province, chapter of the Germanen Order of the Holy Grail in 1916, which was formally dedicated in Munich on August 18, 1918, under the cover name the Thule Society. The order had a structure based on Freemasonry. The structure was adopted with the assumption that Jews engaged in secret organizing, and that it would be best to counter their influence over the German public life by using the same method. The primary concern was to monitor Jewish activity and to be a center for the distribution of anti-Semitic material. The Thule Society, an occult organization, was joined by 1,500 influential Germans, including people close to Hitler, like Rudolf Hess and Dietrich Eckart. The Thule Society is noted for sponsoring the German Workers' Party, founded by a Thule Society member. Sebottendorff bought a barely surviving newspaper, the Münchener Beobachter. This newspaper was renamed the Völkischer Beobachter, becoming the flagship newspaper of the Nazi Party. Amongst the directives and goals of the order were the following. One had to be a German who could prove the purity of his blood up to the 3rd degree. By this would be prevented that descendants from Jews would infiltrate the order, and special value would be attached to the propaganda of racial science, understood in the Darwinian sense. In his own words, Hitler was a materialist, while also a staunch Darwinian. In his book, Before Hitler Came, Sebottendorff reproduces some of his writings in the Thule publications. Here are some quotations. The German needs a Führer who imposes himself on him. We don't acknowledge any international brotherhood, but only the interests of our race. We don't acknowledge the brotherhood of men, but only the brotherhood of the blood. Struggle is the father of everything. Democracy is Jewish. Any kind of democratic revolution is Jewish. There are higher and lower races. Humanity needs leaders and leading races for its upward evolution. Sebottendorff's own proud comment, this was a language one had not yet heard in Munich until then. We can see in these words how his statements perfectly align with Hitler's Nazi ideology. The Thule Society played a significant counter-revolutionary role during the Bavarian Revolution of 1919. Many Thule Society members and their allies in the Freikorps paramilitary units wore swastikas on their helmets to demonstrate their affiliation. Hermann Gilbard writes, the Thule represented, at the time of the German Revolution, the umbrella organization of nearly all nationalistic and anti-Semitic forces in Munich. Detlev Rose agrees. The Thule Society became a centralizing organization for pan-German, patriotic, and similar associations. The emblem of the Thule Society was a swastika and a sword with a crescent moon, an image associated with Islam. Adolf Hitler joined the German Workers' Party in September 1919. He transformed it into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazi Party, by February 1920.